good. We got some good traction. I ended
So
up
what did you guys talk
right-
about today on your TikTok? Besides the trans people.
Well, earlier we started talking about sex workers.
Okay. My suggestion would be try not to talk too much about trans people, anything LGBTQ.
I know.
Because it's just gonna bite you right in the butt. And
we're gonna get banned.
Like, take it. I'm speaking from experience here.
Oops.
Like,
why doesn't that surprise me?
I can't post. I can't do anything. So that says
you
a
can't
lot.
post either.
I can't post. I can't comment. I can't do anything.
Oh,
except
shit.
on lives.
Out of control with the band.
For whatever reason, I can do the live. I can not on the live. I can comment on your lives, but literally that is it.
That's
Shit.
annoying.
That is annoying.
So yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, so you said something about trans people and medicine and drugs. I don't think there are drugs that can fix that.
Well, you have to take like testosterone and stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
I was talking about the hormones that people take that I don't think people should be allowed to take until they're 18.
Oh, okay. I agree with that.
I don't think.
Yes.
I thought you. Alexa Monique said, "Oh, I like this."
What?
Hello.
What?
Alexa Monique. I don't know who they are.
Oh, wasn't she on yours?
Oh my gosh, she figured out how to get here. How'd she do that?
We told her where to go.
Oh, I mean, I don't think we gave like specific instructions.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we said the moderate
no, because
point.
I said it on your account, like the moderate point. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure it out with my camera. Like I'm so unprepared for this. But hey, I got this set up, right? It was such a pain in the butt to set up the Restream piece of shit. I got the idea from Mute the Media, so I should send him an email and be like, "Yo, bozo, thank you so much. I appreciate that."
I thought you were mad at Mute the Media.
Ignorant idiot.
What? Oh, I can't stand him lately. Well, now it's personal. Until now, it wasn't personal. It was just like business, you know, like, okay, you know, so we see things differently, whatnot. Everything is fine. You know, we can still talk. You know, we can still debate. We can still have conversations and shit like that. But, like, he's, like, in favor of the Communist Party and shit like that. And, like, he would much rather, how do you call it? He would much rather... associate with like leftists and leave the leftists, leave the socialists, but he would much rather like associate with communists than conservatives. Like, seriously? And you know what bugs me? It bugs me because from my interactions with him, I feel that he's a very smart individual. He's smart. We have to give him that. But then the way he handled all that bullshit with the problem that I had with those ladies, which were like, I don't know, producers on Mute the Media or whatever the fuck it is. Like that like, I was like, seriously, bro? Like, come on, you're nothing but a bully and a child. Like, that's what I would have expected from a child, to be like, oh, you know, you picked on my friends, so now I'm in your corner, so what's up now? You know, kind of that kind of behavior. And like, it's not what I expect, you know, from an intellectual person. So if you have an issue with, you know, my content or what I bring to the table, like, attack that, you know, but don't make it personal. Don't try to be like, oh, you know, step up to the plate and like, you know, that kind of bullshit. Like, what are we, 10 now? No, we are adults. Like, he's mid-20s, I'm early 30s, you know, and like everything was personal. And after they had like a YouTube video in which at the end they put a picture of me and they were like, oh, this looks like a guy that would have your picture on his phone, and you know, they like bullshit like that, like you know, like bullshit like that. And I was like, okay, you know, it's fine, I have thick skin, so I'm not taking it personal. It's just you're dumb. You know, so that's how it is. So yeah, we were supposed to go live a couple of times, and then I got banned, then he got banned, then I got banned again. So that didn't fucking happen. But yeah, I doubt we're gonna go live now, because like I lost all respect for him. So if I don't respect him, like why the fuck would I give him my time? So just to have a pissing match, it doesn't work.
Didn't you go for what's her name? Like Care Bear or something? Didn't you just make a video
Yeah,
about
you made a stitch with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, did she come after you?
What's she gonna do? Come after me and tell me the NIH study I posted is wrong?
Was she gonna? Did she say anything? Did she say anything to you?
Not that I've seen. No.
It's because you're a woman, so she doesn't have a problem. They only have a problem when men come for them.
She can also kiss my ass because she's also pro-vaccine and pro-Dr. Fauci, and everything I posted was CDC or NIH. So.
Oh, okay.
No fear. Brooke has no.
Yeah,
fear.
no, but like that's how you do it, and this is what I noticed is that like how to say this. I second guess myself. I second guess if I'm on the right side of things. I second guess, if even though I'm looking at facts and I try not to post content without like, some facts in it and shit like that. I second guess myself in the idea that I'm gonna think, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm misinterpreting things? What if I'm on the wrong side of history? What if I'm like, what if I'm seeing things wrong? And then you make content. You back it by facts, you back it by statistics, and for which you should be ready, Brooke, for tomorrow.
Oh, I have all of my immigration papers ready and marked up.
Okay, great. Fuck.
I'm excited to listen.
And this is what this is kind of how I sum it down for me at least. It's simple. If I make content and I checked my sources, I checked my numbers, I checked my statistics, and I checked. I made sure that I don't just talk out of my ass. That's good. Then, if you come after me personally, I know I'm in the right.
Yep.
Because you failed to produce one shred of evidence, which for me, that's like, winning, so to speak. Just giving me the trophy. If you bring facts, we can talk about it. We will have a dialogue. We'll go back and forth. That's what politics should be. However, what politics are in the last, I don't know, since the day that Trump announced that he's running for president, it's personal attacks. Fuck that shit, bro. Attack my content. Rebuttal my sources, my information, my numbers, my stats, and so on and so forth. What if we are starting a TikTok drama? I want in. No, we are not starting a TikTok drama. We are not doing that shit here.
Yep, but they'll just say, "Oh, you're racist. You're misogynist.
It's fine.
whatever."
I can live with that. Like I've been called so much worse. Like I've been called a terrorist.
Say that I'm racist
Nazi.
Because I'm like, look, one, I'm a dual citizen, and two, my maternal grandmother is Cherokee. What else you got, bitch?
I don't know. Nobody. Oh, Phil is here.
Hi, Phil.
Who's
you'll
Phil?
Like Phil. He's one of my friends from TikTok. He's really smart.
Yeah. So I've never been called a Nazi, but I have been called a terrorist for supporting law enforcement.
Okay. People are dumb.
So, yeah, I mean, Homeland Security and Custom and Immigration Enforcement, hey guys, what's good? I support you guys. That makes me a terrorist. When are you guys gonna knock on my door?
Yeah, I mean, immigration and customs are important. They need to be there. They need to be supported, especially right now. Because did you know that the Texas Border Patrol makes up like 30% of the COVID deaths right now, as opposed to all the other Border Patrol agents in different cities or different states?
I did not know that.
Yep.
What are you gonna bring this stat tomorrow?
No, I actually was. Well, my intention tomorrow is not to say that our immigration, it sucks. It's just like, I think there's a better way to do it.
Okay.
But,
all right.
You can't get into it. Don't get into it, though. Save it all for tomorro.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back and talking about trans people. So,
okay.
Because there was the idea. Like, I heard you guys talking about trans people, and I was like, I wanted to say some things, and I can't. Like, I fucking can't, because I can't go live. And it drove me nuts. And, like, that's why I created this. I was like, I want to have like sessions, YouTube sessions, because if Mute the Media can do it, like we can do it too, because we have facts. Right. All he has is I read some books and history tells us that. Like, fuck that shit. But like, I want to have like panels, not a lot of people, 3, 4, 5, 6 maximum, of immigrants from other countries, preferably former dictatorships, former communist countries, strong socialist countries that are in America. So we can tell our story, why we left our countries, why we are here, why socialism doesn't work, why communism doesn't work. Because like, you have so many people out there that are define communism. No, dude, you can do a Google search. Like, why are you in favor? Why are you against communism? Are you serious? Like, come on, bro.
Well, that's because people think that the government is looking out for them, when in reality, the government is looking out for themselves and their family. And if they can look out for you at the same time, they will. But they won't lose their money and their comfort for you.
Yeah,
it's just naive.
So yeah, and like, I was thinking, on TikTok you can only do lives with 2 people. Versus here, you can do, like, we are 3 right now, we could be 4, and so on and so forth. All right, so, and that's why I said, like, it was driving me nuts, because you guys were talking about it, and I couldn't say anything. And after that, you guys were like, oh yeah, he's so opinionated. Oh no, I think he could be more opinionated. Yeah, I am opinionated, and I'm very blunt, I'm very direct, and at work, I always check myself, because
for the record,
organically, I'm very direct.
We love that you're opinionated and blunt. We were not saying anything.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's
we
not
appreciate
a bad thing.
that about you.
I didn't take it as a negative thing.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Alexa said, so you're telling me I can join? Depends what you have to add. Like, if you have something in contradictory to add to what we're talking, I would definitely send you a link so you can join. Like 100%, like, boom. We need somebody that disagrees with me, with us.
You want to go first on this conservative?
Yeah, let's talk about transgender stuff.
No, it was your guys' talk, so you guys kick it off.
Okay. I'll start with a blanket statement. Gender dysphoria is real, and we shouldn't just be telling people they can't switch genders.
They can't switch sexes.
Right. You can't switch sexes, but you can switch genders.
Sure.
Okay, why?
I mean, oh, fuck, I'm gonna open a can of worms here.
The whole point.
Do it.
This is how I look at it. Gender dysphoria is definitely real, like, without a question. Anybody that's saying, that is not real, that's just your imagination, that's just your brain, they are an idiot. They never left their fucking 5,000 people population town. Let me just put it that way, right? But you can change your sex. And let me tell you why. Yeah, you can. You can get a breast reduction, and you can get a fake vagina. The technology is there.
That's not changing your sex. That's not.
Hold on 1 second. I'm not finished.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go
Emily.
Ahead. Shh. So the technology is there, and it all comes down, like, if you're referring to sex, a female giving birth, lactating, having, a uterus, being able to create life, then yes, you cannot change your sex. But if you're talking from the perspective of just how you look, how you act, what kind of sexual relationships or engagements you can have, then you can definitely change your sex. So it's all about how we define that sex. Because you can hear, especially lately, especially on social media, the gender is just a social construct and blah, 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 right? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that 100%. Gender is not a social construct. But I think that it all depends on how you look at sex. Because if you're looking from the traditional way that, males, have semen and women have ovaries and eggs and they can lactate and they can create life and so on and so forth, then absolutely you cannot. But if you're looking just from the minimal point of view that you look like a woman, you act like a woman, you dress like a woman, and you don't have a penis anymore, you have a vagina, even though it's fake or whatever. Apparently there's a long procedure that there are things that you have to do for the rest of your life. So that is not an easy thing for people to go to. We have to acknowledge that. Imagine being a male, right? You identify as female, you go through a breast reduction, which is fine. The doctor's going to take care of everything. Plastic surgery does wonders. Look at Lindsay Lohan. But after that, they kind of take your penis out and they give you this fake vagina. I'm sorry, I don't know the technical terms, if there are any. So I read on this, but I don't remember exactly the terms that they were using. But after that, it's not just that you get a fake vagina and you just have it. There are like things that you have to do for the rest of your life to maintain it, I guess. Mm-hmm. So that's where I say.
Okay, well, so just a couple things I noticed in here was that I think you are making sex and gender the same. And from what I've looked up, the best way to differentiate the two is to say that sex is what persists if your gender changes, because sex is based on your chromosomes. Sex is XY male, XX female. There's no way to change that. Whereas gender is something that is constructed on the outside. We are the people, the society has decided women wear pink and dresses and men take out the trash and do all then you hear the term gender roles, which is why gender is something that's external. And that's why we can say that you can change your gender, because if you feel like you don't fit the gender role, then you switch over to what you do like and what does make you comfortable.
But aren't we breaking down gender roles anyways? Aren't we saying that men shouldn't be doing
that is
a
whole different argument, because
but it's not a whole different argument. It's not a whole different argument.
The thing is, it's all coming from the same side. So the same side that wants gender dysphoria to be accepted is the same side that's saying there's non-binary and then that gender roles don't exist. Well, if gender roles don't exist, then you're not a gender. But that's why I say it's like opposite, because and is a different category, because essentially we either need to say gender roles exist and so therefore gender dysphoria is valid, or we say gender roles don't exist and so gender dysphoria isn't valid.
But it's not even. But when it comes to gender dysphoria, I mean, it's not just like I feel like I need to do girl things or boy things. They feel like biologically they're incorrect. They want to change physically, not just, I want to be able to do girl things and boy things.
Well, yeah, but that all stems from what they find interest in, such as painting their nails, wearing dresses, maybe wanting to be more of a tomboy. That's why you see the things where people are like, back in my day, we just had tomboy. Well, yeah, some of these people maybe are just tomboys, and maybe some of these men are just a little more feminine. But there are the cases where you do have people who truly are just uncomfortable in their skin, and they're like, nothing about being a man or nothing about being a woman fascinates me or interests me, and I was simply born wrong. And that's why we have the problem we have now. What is this thing that keeps popping up at the bottom of my screen?
It's just comments, I think.
I'm highlighting some comments.
Oh, okay.
And also playing with this.
Oh, okay.
This is the first live, guys.
Pop up.
Like,
this
I'm
is
trying
your
to
first live?
the first live here on this, like, it's an app, it's Restream, it's like a platform, and I'm trying to multitask here. Stop yelling at me. What is that thing that pops on the bottom of my screen? Oh!
Well, I just didn't know what it was, and I don't have my contacts in, so I can't see that far to save my life.
Sorry, it's been a long day. It's Sunday. I worked today. I ended up working today, so.
Oh, okay.
So Philippe says that I slightly disagree with sex solely being based on chromosomes. There are cases where the Y chromosome doesn't properly activate certain genes, so you can have XY and still have female anatomy. Yeah, the percentage is very small on that.
Those are exceptions.
Yeah, are you talking
about intersex?
Yeah, I want to know if he's referring to intersex, because the intersex percentage is really, really small. And intersex,
you'll like him, conservative immigrant. You will like him because he's one of my science friends on TikTok. When I post like biological things that people choose not to listen to, Phil is like, y'all are missing what she's saying. Like, he's really smart.
Okay, so intersex people is very rare. Around 1.7% of the population is born with intersex traits. However, in the last years, that number has been steadily going down.
Going down, that's it.
Yeah, amnesty.org. That's the source. just so we can quote our sources to be on the right side of things.
Yes.
I've got the NIH.gov up, so if anyone wants to get a different source, go for it.
Yeah, by all means, hit us with numbers.
If y'all thought I was gonna get on a stream and not come prepared, y'all were wrong.
Y'all.
Hey, if you're looking at moving to Texas, you better get used to it.
Oh, I'm using y'all all day long at work, so like literally, I'm not even
Southerners.
kidding. Hey, it was hot when I was there. Right now, I'm looking at Fort Worth.
Oh yeah,
Fort Ward.
I thought you were looking at Georgia.
I was looking at Georgia briefly. It's humid
did you say
there.
Fort Worth?
Yes.
Fort Worth. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you thought
I thought you said Fourth Ward, which is a really rough side of town where I live.
Oh.
Oh no. However, I lived in Europe, so it doesn't get worse. Like, trust me.
No, it does. Even my dad won't go to that side of town.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's worse than
what town do you live in?
Any place.
I live in Houston.
In Houston? Oh, look, Alexa Monique. She's 3 hours away from Fort Worth.
Yeah, she's in Killeen.
Killeen? Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Pretty bougie.
You always say bougie.
So yeah, what are you using that word right?
I am using the word right. You keep doing your digging over there.
Okay. Like bourgeoisie, like Marx. That's what that word comes from. You're using Marxist terms.
Don't come to Killeen. It's bad. Is Alexa making political content as well?
You know, I don't know. She popped into my live either yesterday or the day before that, and we've just kind of been talking since then. But she's nice.
And now you guys are BFFs.
Now we're friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
apparently,
talk more about the transgender stuff.
She's doing some research. I'm trying to be respectful and give her time.
In terms of health, transgender individuals have a rate of 4 times higher of being HIV infected.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I just read
why do you think that is?
Why? Just because they sleep with each other with the same sex? That makes no sense. Or are you saying because they sleep with a lot of people?
Well, I don't know. I haven't gotten there. It's just one of the first things I saw.
Like, I would like to know why that is.
But there's Emily, a lot of factors.
Okay.
What?
No, you said, why do you think that is? I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Particularly alarming is that 41% of survey respondents reported at least one suicide attempt.
Yeah, like, I have
that makes sense.
I genuinely have all sympathy for any trans person out there, and I genuinely wish them the best in their endeavors, whatever course of action they choose to go by, except suicide. Like, I don't support that. Yep. Like, email us, we'll talk with you. Like, simple as that. But the problem that I have is this trend where I feel that we are heading into a direction where either see it my way or we're gonna do everything in our power to make sure that we cancel you, we get you fired, your family is gonna disown you, and so on and so forth. For example, I have an issue with saying that men can be women and women can be men. I guess it all comes down to what a woman can do and how do you see a man. Right? I see a female as somebody that can procreate, that can create life, that has ovaries, that can get pregnant, that has that menstruates, that I don't know, like you know, all those things in my mind, I guess, you know, in my old school mind, so to speak, defined a woman. And now I see trends that we call people birthing people, in order to be more inclusive. Are you kidding me? Why are we pushing this narrative that if we don't use this term, people are not going to feel welcomed or inclusive? That is bullshit. Like, if I decide to identify as a fucking horse tomorrow, you're not going to come and tell me that, you know, we having 70 employees at work and we have a horse. No, you have 71 employees at work. out of which one identifies as a horse. Like, that is the distinction that I find that we are not making, and we slowly getting into that direction. Why are you showing us your hair?
I'm reading. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. So that's the direction that I have. Like, I don't know anybody that ever spoke ill of trans people, because I would call them out. I don't know anybody that hates trans people, because I would not keep connections with people that hate somebody just because they identify in a particular way. But I do have some issues, not with the overall LGBTQ community, just with some part of it, I guess. When we take everything to the extreme, and I don't agree with it, like, and I will never agree with it. Men cannot be women cannot be men. If you want to call me homophobe because of this, you know what? It's fine. It's totally okay. I can live with myself, and I'm gonna be okay. But why are we changing from mother to birthing person? Like, that is the worst. And I think I had something saved here. Here it is. So
I found a Supreme Court case.
Go ahead.
For what?
Well, I just found it, but I'm trying to get to the part where it talks about the differences between the two.
Between gender and sex?
Because there's, in the table of contents, it says that there's a section on it.
And have you guys heard about Chris Chen?
No.
Who?
Chris Chen. So Chris Chen is a transgender YouTuber. He or she, depending how you look at it, is 39 years of age, identifies as a female, and was listed as a female in a police report, and will be jailed with women inmates, despite the fact that was arrested for raping their mother.
Oh God. Yeah.
So this is a male. This is a male that identifies as a female. She, in order to be inclusive, she raped somebody, and is gonna go sent to a women jail. That is where we fucking pushed it. That's where we fail as a society. Why is this shit okay?
Well, so my take on that is that if we really feel that we need to include the trans community when it comes to the prison system, then we need to have an entire different section just for trans people. So we can have a women's jail and a men's jail, but then we have to separate it in between each one where we've got trans men and trans women. Because if we really are going to try not to discriminate based on sex or gender, then we need to just have a section for trans people.
That's going to be hard to do, though.
Yeah, like you're talking four categories: men, women, men who identify as women, and women who identify as men. That is.
I mean, what else?
Plus, then you could just have people identifying as different things because they think it's going to be safer for them when they go to prison because they'll have their own area.
Like that dude that identified as wheelchair bound, and they beat him up for it.
What?
Yeah, he was a child molester, and he went to jail and told them that he needs to be in a wheelchair because he was a child molester. And in jail, if you're a child molester or if you hurt kids, they stomp on your head. And justice was served. Let's just say that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, the big problem with that is you're not protecting the women in that prison. Yeah. And then also I've seen cases where people have gotten pregnant in prison from things like that. Because, I mean, now that if you're going to be combining biological males and females, that's a risk of what can happen in prison. And when you're in prison, any sex is not consensual sex, technically in prison. So then it just gets really complicated.
I can't even think about sex in prison. Like, my mind cannot process that shit. So,
this particular thing that I'm looking at does say, this is just one of the sentences on here, and it says, regardless of perceived gender status, a person biologically will always remain the male or female they were at conception. Thus, real and consequential biological differences between the sexes. What?
I just said right. Yep.
Oh, will have a lifelong bearing on that person's brain and organs, behavior, propensity for disease, cognitive and emotional processes, and responses to toxins and drugs, which is what I say. But then I am open to saying that gender is something that comes from the outside, which is why I think that, honestly, I think it's just a matter of erasing gender roles, and then maybe we wouldn't have this problem.
So what do you mean when you're saying erases? What do you mean when you say erasing gender roles?
So gender is I hate saying this because it makes me sound dumb, but here we go. Gender is a social construct. It is something that has been pretty much defined by society as women tend to do this and men tend to do this. And if you tend to do the other one, you're probably more manly or more feminine than your peers. And that is what gender is. Gender is something that was made by society to separate what men and women should be doing, which is why I think gender dysphoria is such a big topic, because people don't see it that way.
I agree and I disagree, because in northern countries in Europe, where they tried to have this all-inclusive, all-neutral, everything, they noticed that the more they tried to make women and men alike, the more the gaps and the differences between the two created. The more they created more differences and a bigger gap between the two. Jordan Peterson talked about this at length on his channel. That's where I'm taking this. So I feel that we need to have some gender roles. I find that is this is like I find that no matter how you look at it, men and women are not going to be alike. If we're talking about men and women doing the same thing from a professional perspective, from a clothing perspective, from everything else perspective, that is fine. But I also feel like, I don't know, like when you have all these, I think we need to teach kids how to respect women and how to respect other people, not necessarily just women. And I think that is the number one way to stop a male to rape or to be violent towards women. To respect other people and to respect women. You don't teach a kid, you're gonna go to school in first grade or second grade and you're not gonna slap that girl's butt. You teach the kid to be respectful, to have boundaries, to have a limit, to know how to behave himself or herself. So, but I know it's such an antiquated way of thinking in today's world.
But when you say that gender roles, when they were removed, we still saw men and women growing apart. Like, what do you mean? What do you think needs to remain a gender role? Like, what specifically?
I mean, every psychological study about gender, they all kind of come up to the same conclusion, that men as a whole, on a macro perspective, not in a micro perspective, on a whole, on the big picture, men are more inclined to the material world, versus women are more inclined to the emotional world, the human connection world, the personal world, and so on and so forth. That's why back in the day you'd see the guy working on cars, having cars as a hobby, and the woman raising the kids, and so on and so forth. Now, before anybody's taking this out of context, I don't believe that it's a woman's job to stay at home and raise kids. I really don't. The majority of my friends are 50-50 involved in raising their kids, and it fucking works perfectly. But I feel that what the feminism movement has done is tried to portray women, or to create this narrative that women just need to do the same thing that men do, versus, based on all the psychological studies that have been out there, that would go against their very nature. So when you really go and nitpick all of these things, are you gonna if you're gonna end up being 40 and you lived your whole life because they told you that you can do everything a man does, are you gonna feel fulfilled when you're gonna be 40, or are you not gonna be fulfilled because deep down you would have preferred to do something else? You would have preferred to do a different route. However, somebody told you that, no, you can do what a man did. You should lose sleep and fight for that CEO position or that vice president position or that executive position, and so on and so forth. Which I'm not saying that it's something bad with it. All I'm saying is that if you look at every research or the majority of the research that has been done, men are more inclined to make sacrifices for the material world versus women are not so inclined. So that's all I'm saying. And I don't think that we should discard that. I don't think that we should just let that pass in order to be like, oh, you know what, let's give it to feminists because they wear those glitter t-shirts that says hire women. Like, hire women, okay. Are you thinking of hiring women because you want women to have the same opportunities as men, which is totally okay? Or are you thinking hire just women because somewhere out there in the ether there is something that is oppressing women in 2021? So I feel that it's all how we send the message, and I feel that the left has been doing that with the feminism movement, with the defund the police movement. I feel that if they really, really, really would have wanted to make a change with police reform and whatnot, they could have fucking come up with something else rather than defund the police. Like, when you hear that, and if you're pro-police, that is automatically gonna make you have a step back and reanalyze everything that is going on, right? And like, I feel that they are taking everything to the extreme, and they're working against them. And after that, they try, not that long ago, they tried to be like, oh no, Republicans want to defund the police. Seriously? Really? And it's just all this bullshit ideology that they are coming through, and this being wokeness. And back to the transgender comment, I personally feel that there are people out there that truly, truly, truly have gender dysphoria. But I also feel that because of the lack of support from home, as in failed parenting, the lack of support from the school system, the current narratives on social media, news, mainstream media, and friends and entourage and so on and so forth, you have a lot of kids that have an identity crisis when they are 10 years of age, 11, 12, 13, 14, so on and so forth. So then the left comes in and they are like, honey, you're oppressed. That's why you feel that way. We are fighting for you. There's one vote. Honey, you don't feel like you belong in the women's group. Maybe you're a man. There goes another vote. And like, they are perpetuating all this fake bullshit inclusive ideology, which, don't get me wrong, like, we should be inclusive and we should advocate for diversity. The corporate me, I'm very in favor of diversity. Like, I cannot tell you how much diversity and people from different backgrounds can positively impact the business. It's unbelievable. And you have all this ideology that it's washing minds that we are fighting for you, whereas they are not. Like, look at that dad. They ended up in jail in Canada because he had a boy that identified as a girl, or vice versa, whatever the fuck it was, and he refused to call his kid the different addressing or the different gender that the kid identified it, and Child Protective Services, or their version of it, like, he ended up in jail for like 72 hours or something like that. It's crazy. It is crazy. You as a person, you as a parent, you have an obligation to raise your kid the right way. And you're not like, Matt Walsh spoke about this very, very well. You don't tell your kid that, honey, you're not gonna get the pink boots that your sister wears. I'm gonna take you and I'm gonna buy you new shoes and you're gonna love those. Like, when I was a kid, I remember I wore my mom's boots through the house, and she told me, no, honey, women wear women's shoes. You are a boy and you wear boys' shoes. In today's world, like, they would crucify you for that. How dare you? Because your 6-year-old tried to wear a dress or some other bullshit. And I feel that they are taking it to the extreme, and that's the problem that I'm having with it. And you have like 12-year-olds at freaking at gay parades and at drag shows, teaching them how to. They literally sexualize those two girls. There was a video like a year ago, and the other trans people out there, males and females identifying of the opposite sex, they were just throwing cash at those 12-year-olds. Are you kidding me? And that is okay. Like that's fine. That's totally normal in today's society in New York. Like that's just not okay. And let me give you some the schools in California are asking to remove all gender-specific pronouns, not in order to use one's preferred pronouns, but you're not allowed to use any gendered pronouns at all. That is the new.
What?
So they're trying to have everything pronouns less, like to be neutral. Like, are you kidding me? Like, we have talking points like men are no women and vice versa. They're considered extreme in 2021, and it's just a complete disaster.
Well, okay,
Not
so
to mention.
Oh, you go ahead, Emily. I'll keep my question.
Okay, I follow this person on TikTok, and he is gay, and he talks about how toxic this is for like gay boys or gay girls, because it's making them think, oh, you have these like maybe more feminine traits or more masculine traits. That means that you must be trans. Well, some of them aren't trans. Some of them might be gay, and there's nothing wrong with them being gay, but they're being pressured into thinking that they're trans. And then they go through with, whatever it is, if they medically transition or they're just socially transitioning, and then that could be really damaging, right? So I thought that was a really interesting perspective on all of that too.
Yeah, go ahead, Brooke.
So my question for you was, historically, you conservative immigrant.
Oh, okay.
Okay, historically and just traditionally, gender dysphoria tends to affect males. It tends to affect prepubescent boys between 5 and 12 years old, and that's just how it has always been. So if we're not going to, and I'm totally on board with not letting people take hormones or anything like that until they're 18, that's fine. But in the interim, what do we do? How do we alleviate these kids' distress and their discomfort until they can decide if transitioning is something they want to do? And I think that's part of the problem, is that we have all these minors saying, oh, I'm the wrong gender, and we have no freaking clue how to help comfort them while they work through the most awkward stages of their life. So how do we do that so that way we have less regret later?
I feel that is the biggest struggle of a parent in today's world. I feel it all comes down to, I see it as a result, I see all of this, especially in young kids, as an identity crisis. As in, a lot of kids in today's America, they are depressed. They have depression, they have anxiety, they have some sort of mental health, which nobody should laugh at them for. Like, this is serious shit that, needs to be addressed. And I feel that sometimes parents do more harm than good, unfortunately. And because of this, all of this results into identity crisis. They don't feel like they belong anywhere. They don't feel like they belong with their friends. Like, I know teenagers that all they do is listen to sad music day after day after day. And when I ask them, like, why, life is good. You're privileged. You're born in America. I have nothing to be happy for, and stuff like that. And they are teenagers. Like, I'm sorry, I don't remember being 16 or 17 and feeling that my life is so tough. And my mom was very strict. Like, I had a time that I had to be inside. It couldn't be dark outside, and I would have been outside. I couldn't go outside for like 5 hours to just wander with my friends. She needed to know everywhere where I was. And I still didn't feel like this, or I didn't feel that life is so tough that I need 2 Red Bulls when I was 16. just to get me through the day. And then you wonder why all these issues are happening. And I feel that what parents should do is they should absolutely be understanding of their kids. They should be involved in their kids' development. I feel that they should not dish this as, oh, you're just going through a phase, honey. Like, I feel that that's one of the worst things that the parent could tell their kid right now. If a kid would come out to them, and be like, hey, mom, I like boys, or hey, mommy, I like girls, and you would be like, oh, just dishing them as, yeah, you're just going through a phase. I feel that would be the worst thing that you could do, because instantly they would feel not supported, But also, there was a study 3.5 years ago. No, more than that. Obama was in his last year of presidency. They did a study where it was nationwide. And I think it was, I have to look it up. I keep saying it, but I keep forgetting. Close to half of the students said that their parents have no idea what they are doing in school. Do you think they have any idea what their kids are doing at home? I don't think they have any idea what their kids are doing at home either. So, like, it all becomes at home. And if you're a shitty parent at home, if you're not involved in your child's education, like, you're already setting them up for failure automatically. Like, that's how I see it. And I feel that we need to create this culture of parents to be involved in their kids. And, like, don't make kids if you are not going to be able to raise them, if you're not going to be able to give them the minimum necessary. And I'm not talking necessarily material stuff, but to give them an education, dude. Because I can dislike everything that happened, with my mom and how strict she was. Like, she made sure that I got an education. Like, she made fucking sure of it. And, you can't beat that. We call it in Romania the 7 years at home, which are, because at age of 7 you start kindergarten or school or whatever it is. I don't know, but that's what we call it in Romania, the 7 years at home. Why? Because those 7 years are considered in our culture paramount in the kids' education. Those are gonna dictate if your kid is gonna be a bully at school, or if your kid is gonna be one of those kids that is gonna get their ass whooped. If your kid is gonna go to school and slap a girl's ass, or is gonna be respectful, have boundaries. And what people and parents need to understand, that the moment your kid went to school, since day one, they will listen more to their entourage than they will listen to you. And the amount of listening that they give you is slowly gonna go down as years pass, to the point that when he's in the 9th grade, your kid will be completely oblivious to what you have to say and believe everything that their entourage is gonna tell them. And this has been proven in every freaking study that they've done out there. I wish I would have the sources. I'm sorry, I do not. If anybody's gonna ever see this and I'm wrong, or there's a study that said, that is not right, we can go from there. But, like, those 7 years, dude, need to be paramount. You cannot just keep popping kids after kids after kids, because you get those tax breaks, right? Tax credits, and you get that help from the state. Like, we need to create somehow a culture of raising the kids the right way. And I genuinely don't feel that that's ever gonna happen in America. Why? Because with this pandemic, the government had a fucking opportunity to promote healthy living, because the majority of people that had a hard time with COVID were obese, right? And they had an opportunity to promote a culture of healthy living, and they completely fucked it up, because it got to the point where people weren't getting vaccines, and they were trying to incentivize people to get vaccines by giving them coupons to get fucking candy. When the number one people that were having a hard time with COVID were obese people. And don't get me wrong, like, I come from a country, like, sports weren't a thing when I grew up. Like, it wasn't like here that you have, like, high school sports and everybody's participating and all the cheerleaders are in awe of all the football players. We didn't have that. We had the sports class once a week where we would run, and do a bunch of other crazy shit, and that was it. And, like, if the government couldn't even do that, that's why I'm against of my taxes covering healthcare. Because I agree, it works in other countries. I've seen it working. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can go and have an MRI in Romania right now for probably $300. And here would be 3,000, actually more than that. The CAT scan is like $5,000. So, but no other country has the health issues that we have. Mental health, physical health. Like, I worked with people that were drinking 12 Diet Cokes a day.
But so then,
give me a fucking break.
So whenever you say like mental health, there are teenagers in America right now that are on antidepressants and anti-anxiety pills and all of these different medicines that they need to help cope with these mental disorders. So then my problem is that, and I think this is what a lot of the transgender
I got the comment
kind of deals with is, if there's all these kids on all these medicines to help with their chemical imbalances, why do we not have anything we can do to kind of alleviate the awkwardness for young kids going through gender dysphoria? Because truly, I don't think they should be doing any sort of transitioning. So if we were able to at least offer them some comfort, what do we do? Because we're offering comfort to all these other people with mental disorders, but we're not offering comfort to these. And it's kind of a big problem.
So the mental health in America is divided into two categories, or reason-wise. And I'm no expert on this, based on what I found online and based on the small research that I did. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not 100% correct on this. But you have people with mental health due to predispositions to it from a genetical perspective. And you have people with mental health because their parents either did drugs or drank or shit like that, and they got pregnant, or while the mother was pregnant, she was drinking, smoking cigarettes, doing drugs, and so on and so forth, which results into like big issues, right? But 5 years ago, I'm saying 5 years because of the job that I had back then, I had an employee that her son had some issues, and her son was 10, and the family doctor tried to give her all this freaking medicine for anxiety, depression, and stuff like that. And she literally lost her shit at the doctor's office. I know she didn't come to work for a week because she was so upset of everything. And they tried to prescribe the kid like all these antidepressants and all that. Imagine what those medicines are doing for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old's brain, and so on and so forth. So I'm in favor of making their life easier, but I'm not in favor, and it is, as an outsider, as an immigrant, I genuinely feel that in this country we're having this culture of prescribing medicine for anything and everything without regards of fucking side effects. And that's why a lot of people are just tired and they just fucking had it with the medical community. Right? And I find that as a part of the problem, again, with parenting. Like, anything short of, and I'm just talking out of my butt here, and I'm pretty sure, if there's somebody that's actually, big on the topic, I wish we would have, do you guys know any therapists that could join us on conversations like this? Because I would like their input on this.
Actually, yes, I follow one who specializes in transgender, and she's really cool.
Okay, because I would like to have her on the live one day. Like, I feel that if it's not something genetic and your kid is 10 and they are depressed, like, I feel that you as a parent should be able to do something about it, or you should have seen the signs or something along those lines. And I have no kids. To any parents out there, I apologize. I mean no disrespect. It is just my humble opinion that if you really truly care for your kid at home, and you really try to give them the best, and you're there for them, and you teach them to be good people, and you teach them empathy and caring and all that good stuff, I feel that the chances of them ending up being depressed, I feel that they would go down. And there's just personal opinion out there. That's
okay. But I think what's happening here is that you are lumping all depressive patients into situational depression. And I feel like you're kind of forgetting that biologically there are people who have chemical imbalances, and that can't be fixed with situations. That has to be fixed with either SSRIs or SNRIs.
I did say anything short of genetical predispositions to mental health.
But so then those kids who are on antidepressants or whatever it is they want to take, they're able to get help. And I think that's my problem with it, is we're able to help some, but not help gender dysphoric kids. And I understand that a majority of cases resolve if you don't play into it. But what do we do while they bring this to our attention to help them understand that they're not weird, like it's okay? I mean, I think that's the biggest part, is how do you work through the initial stages of it?
Yeah, but also gender dysphoria, until only 2 years ago, I think it was classified as a mental health issue, and now it's not. They changed how they look at this. And secondly, it is the only mental health situation where you can your doctor cannot tell you that you're wrong. Like
right.
If I if I'm a kid and I go to my doctor right now, and I'm like, I'm a boy, but I identify as a woman, the doctor is going to be like, okay. It's the only medical condition. Literally, it is the only medical condition.
Yep.
Like, I have Lyme disease. Do you know how many emergency rooms I had visits? And I was like, guys, check for Lyme disease. Check for Lyme disease. No. And after that, they gave me 3 weeks of doxycycline, and symptoms came back. And I went back to the emergency room because one night I literally thought I was going to have a heart attack. And they were like, no, 3 weeks of antibiotics is fine. But if I go and I'm 10 years old and I'm like, I'm a woman, I'm a girl, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, they would be like, yeah, cool, good for you. What the fuck is up with that? Like, seriously? Yeah. So
that's like,
I'm not, and this is the thing. These are the kind of conversations that, like, I genuinely don't feel that we are being hateful. I don't feel that we are being, bigots or homophobes or anything like that. We're just having a conversation about it. And these are the kind of things that you cannot do on TikTok.
Like, okay, but gender dysphoria is a mental disorder. I mean,
they took it out.
They took it out.
They took it out as DSM.
Yeah. We are the only country in the world where we are not considering it a mental disorder anymore.
Right. So
literally, we are the only country. All other countries, if you do a little Google search, it might take you a while because there are a lot of countries.
No, it's not actually. The UK pops up first, and the UK says it's not a mental disorder. But when you go to NIH.gov, it's still set, and this is just updated July 17th of this year, that it's still in the DSM, so it still qualifies for like Medicare, Medicaid, all sorts of different medical stuff, because it is a mental disorder.
Here, 1 second.
Hey, Phil, are you still on? I know you know some about
this.
They took out. I'm trying to look this up.
So if you go to ncbi.nlm.gov/books/NBK53231.
I'm not gonna type.
That's where I'm at, and it was updated July 17th, 2021.
So can I read some stuff? Can I read some stuff? Do you mind? Okay, sure. So this is in UK. If your child is under 18 and may have gender dysphoria, they'll usually be referred to the Gender Identity Development Service at the blah 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 blah. They have two clinics. One of them is in London. Your child or teenager will be seen by a multidisciplinary team, including a clinical psychologist, a child psychotherapist, a child and adolescent psychiatrist, a family therapist, and a social worker. The team will carry out an assessment, blah, blah, blah. They will need to have between 3 to 6 appointments over a period of several months. Depending on the results of the assessment, options for children and teenagers include: number 1, family therapy. Number 2, individual child psychotherapy. Number 3, parental support or counseling. Number 4, group work for young people and their parents. Regular reviews to monitor gender identity development. Referral to a local children and young people's mental health service. A referral to a specialist hormone, blah, blah, something, clinic for hormone blockers for children who meet strict criteria at puberty. So they only do the hormone shit at puberty, and you need to meet a strict criteria, apparently.
Yeah, and I don't think hormone blockers should be started at puberty, because here's my kind of take on it too, is though I believe in gender dysphoria and I'm all for people once they turn 18 transitioning if that's what they want to do.
Oh, of course.
I absolutely do not agree with stopping puberty, because if you stop puberty, you can't reverse this. You will become infertile. You have all sorts of problems. You need to go through puberty and then you can reverse it later. And I don't believe anyone should be taking testosterone or estrogen until they turn 18. I mean, that's just it. Everyone needs to go through puberty, and we're all uncomfortable. I mean, my teenage years fucking sucked. And I mean, it just sucks for everybody. Get over it. Like, we need to let kids be kids.
Yep. I agree.
It is still in the DSM, by the way, page 46.
I swear they took it out.
No, ma'am.
DSM.
And the only reason I know this is because someone tried to troll me on one of my videos, and so I posted the link, but it's page 46.
Yeah, because then also giving them these things at puberty, that's still really freaking young. I mean, some girls hit puberty at 11, 12.
Yeah, it's scary out there.
Exactly.
One I don't remember his name, but one celebrity from Hollywood, like an actor or something, was talking about his daughter, teenage daughter, 13, 14, that she found this mobile app on her phone, and that mobile app, she would take a picture of herself, and the mobile app would make her look like she would be 18, 19, 20. That's scary, bro.
I know. Or
shit
and stuff. Yeah.
Shit like that shouldn't be there are a lot of bad people out there.
Yep.
It's scary as
hell. I can't imagine the stuff I've found on TikTok is insane. If people keep their liked videos open, you can go and see the people that are clearly looking for very specific things. They just like all of these videos of kids dancing and babies breastfeeding and shit. You'll find those people on TikTok.
That's sad. That's
it's
scary.
really sad, because there's nothing you can do about it. Because what are you supposed to do?
Sad.
If they're not posting anything that's violating community guidelines, then they're not technically doing anything wrong. They're just observing this content and compiling this library for their own use, So
guys, here, I can send y'all this. It's the DSM.
Do it. Yeah, send us stuff.
Do you have my email, Brooke?
Probably not.
I'm not gonna say it here because it has my last name in it. But
okay,
yeah,
well,
I can send it to you.
Are you guys on Facebook?
No.
Yeah,
I don't.
I have a personal Facebook though.
No, you don't. You're not on Facebook.
I'm not on anything except for TikTok.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking how we could do a group message thing.
Anybody have Snapchat? I have Snapchat.
No, I don't use Snapchat anymore. But we can figure it out. We'll
figure it out. I'll come up with something.
But we should. Can you do group messages on TikTok?
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
No.
I've never thought about that.
Alexa is saying, my husband says to demilitarize the police. What? No.
No.
Alexa, are you still here?
Stop saying that name. It's gonna make my echo go off.
Luckily, mine can't hear. Although he
what name?
Loud.
Alexa.
Alexa.
Yeah, stop. You're messing it up.
Alexa, play chill music.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Well, hey, that's not funny because the music you hear from me is also from my echo.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I should make mine start to play music.
Well, lives I feel weird on if I don't have any music.
Alexa, do you like porn?
What? Stop!
How old are you? 15?
Oh my god. Oh, I do the same with all my friends whenever I visit them because I'm the only one that has Apple. Like I'm the Apple guy.
You have like Apple Home and
yeah,
stuff.
I have HomeKit, I have Siri and whatnot, and every time I go to my friend's place, they all have Alexa. So I always fuck with them. I always mess with them and shit like
Ask
that.
inappropriate questions.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. When I want to go in that mindset, I'm done in that mindset. All right. Do we have anything else that we want to talk about this? Because I gotta work at 7 a.m.
No, and I gotta work tomorrow morning too.
What time is your live Central time tomorrow?
7.
7 Central?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay, I'll be there.
This will be fun. You'll actually get to watch me get trolled because I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good at immigration, but I feel like not everybody likes my take on it.
I feel like I'm gonna get blocked again.
Really? Why?
If you just agreed with my immigration views, you probably wouldn't because I'm more liberal on them.
But that's not a good reason.
Alexa, stop. My Alexa started.
You didn't have one.
It's a gift from work. I use it as a clock on a nightstand. Okay. But I don't use it. I only use the watch. Anyway, It was a gift. Long story. Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna get blocked again from freaking TikTok. And like, if you look, every time I do a live, like for whatever reason, it gets to a bunch of fucking 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. Let me ask you this: why does a 13-year-old have fucking TikTok?
That scares me, honestly. Like all of those platforms, that scares me. If I had a 13-year-old, I would not let them be on TikTok.
Yeah. Look at TikTok, dude. Look at what's acceptable these days on TikTok. Like you have young girls sexualizing themselves to the fucking moon, and it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it also scares me because you've got these 13-year-olds listening to people like Mute the Media saying that communism is the way to go, and I'm like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, and you know this is the issue that I have with that. It's like when they try to dish other people's lived experiences because they read the fucking book. Like this is the expression that I use a lot. And they are like, no, because historically and that. Fuck that. It's 2021. Like I'm not saying that we shouldn't think about history and what America has done in the past and whatnot. But if you're talking about history, let's talk about all the dictators that have fallen. Yeah. Right. And like look at Cuba. The only thing that they are saying, or everything that they are saying, is like because the embargo has nothing to do with food. It's nothing to do with medical supplies.
Because of bad decisions by the dictator.
And you can literally you guys have to follow on TikTok Spanglish Generation. She's from Cuba. She escaped Cuba, her and her husband. And like she's talking that tourists can go to hospitals just for tourists in Cuba. And they are just like an American hospital, but the hospitals for Cubans, they literally have like blood splatters on the ceiling, and the paint is all fucking coming out and shit like that. It's fucking scary. It's really, really scary. And you have these people that have no idea about what. Yeah, and you have these people that have no idea about what's going on over there, or how a dictator runs a country, or what happens under communism, and like this is the thing that they are using. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to. The only billionaire or millionaire that I would support is Elon Musk.
Yeah, same.
Like without a question, that guy works 80 hours a week. Everybody, when he started SpaceX, everybody laughed at him. Everybody that was good was too expensive. Everybody that was bad, he didn't want to hire anybody that was bad. So he ended up freaking being the chief rocket scientist at SpaceX. He literally learned everything. And look at him now. Like he built a freaking rocket, a reusable rocket, for a tenth the price that NASA did. And these people are mad that billionaires go to space. Let them. Because in 50 years, you're not gonna need to be a millionaire to be able to go to space, because like the private sector historically has been doing everything cheaper than than the government. And they come with these ideologies that do you think a CEO's labor is worth so million billion dollars? It's not. The labor, I will admit, no. But like, I run a business of $9 million a year at my work. I don't do manual labor. This right here is the ideas that I bring to the plate.
And it's not just that too. They forget that business owners risk a lot.
That's the thing.
You lose your business, you lose your car, you default on loans, you lose your home. That is what's worth the money. Not
if my company goes under tomorrow, I just lose my job. I still keep everything else, but the company is gone. The company is toast. Everything. And if somebody fucks up at the job, I'm not legally liable.
Exactly.
The companies and so on and so forth, like those risks, that's what you make the money. Now, will I agree that some CEOs are getting paid more than they should? Absolutely. For example, at my company, the entire executive branch or office, whatever you want to call it, when COVID hit, they froze their bonuses. They didn't get bonus, they didn't get raises, they didn't get anything. So the company can't perpetuate. Not all of them are bad.
Yep.
But then you have
a lot of executive officers took 30% pay cuts during the initial phases of COVID.
Yep.
So that way the hourly employees could keep their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I watched Simon Sinek religiously. Like, his perspective is amazing. If you guys don't know who he is, you need to watch him.
But then there were people there that were pissed that the higher ups were doing that and making them keep working instead of them being able to go on unemployment, because people were making so much on unemployment that they were then resentful for being able to keep their job.
And then you also had the people who were like, oh, well, Jeff Bezos made more money while COVID was going on. Yeah, because you fuckers stayed home
and order
Amazon. That's why.
I did.
You still want your next day delivery, right?
I did. I have a membership.
Yep.
I live in a small area, dude. Like, our main street our downtown is like quarter of a mile. One street, stores on both sides. That is it. Like, I have Amazon. I broke my monitor. I use it for work as well. I got the monitor in 2 days.
Yep.
So the only reason they're rich is because y'all won't boycott them to use smaller businesses.
Again, like, here's the deal. This is again with what I was talking about identity crisis for young people, because they see a lot of injustice in the world, and when you hear people how they are being treated at Amazon, and after that they are being put in the context of how much money Bezos makes, which is net worth, not literal cash in the bank account.
Right.
A 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, they cannot comprehend that. They don't have the understanding of economics and finances and so on and so forth. So all they see is this service in society where an Amazon worker literally has to pee in a bottle, which is fucking disgusting. And every CEO and executive at Amazon should be ashamed of themselves for that. And after that they hear that this guy, went to freaking moon or space or whatnot, and they automatically see an injustice, as they should, but they don't have the critical thinking at their young age to discern and to understand why that is happening and why that is not okay, and what can we do about it. And that's why they are so drawn to the socialism movement, to the communist movement, to the anti-capitalism movement, and so on and so forth.
That this is human nature. Someone always gets rich. No matter how you do it, no matter how you run your economy, someone gets rich. And the difference between capitalism and socialism and communism is that in capitalism, the regular man gets rich. In capitalism and socialism, the government get rich and the rich get richer, and nobody else wins.
And everyone acts like they're so much better. Like, oh, if I was rich, I would give away all of my money. It's like,
but have you noticed?
Anytime someone is like, distribute the wealth, I'm like, here's my Cash App. Please send me some of your money. And then they
distribute it to me, please.
Have you noticed that it's always the people that are trying to tell. It's always the left that's trying to tell other people what to do with their own money.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. Though.
They're not gonna give up their money, but if they can dictate how someone else is allocating their money, they will.
It's absurd. I can't even my dad, he sits here and he's like, I can't stand Americans anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you. I mean,
where's your dad from?
Portugal.
Oh, maybe he should join our live next time.
No, because he won't agree with me, and I don't need two people disagreeing with me.
All right, so Brooke, tomorrow.
7 o'clock, 8 o'clock your time.
8 o'clock my time. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure I have an alarm. Yeah, 8 o'clock. TikTok live with Brookie. All right, girl. So I think we should do this again, but on another topic.
How do you feel about sex work?
About what?
Sex work. Yeah.
I feel I don't have the right to tell another woman what to do. If she wants to make money out of that, make money out of that. I don't have to like it. I don't have to endorse it for you to be able to do what the fuck you want.
Do you think it should be legal?
Sex work?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I do. Because I look at, why, you don't?
No, I do. Emily doesn't.
Yeah, I do because of this. I'm trying to choose my words here. You're always gonna have it. So why not give these women the tools to do it safely?
Exactly.
That's my thing. For example, are you telling me that under 21-year-olds don't drink alcohol?
Exactly.
So legalizing it is the answer?
Well,
so then you're saying let under 21-year-olds drink because they're doing it anyways?
I tell you what, how about we talk about this on Tuesday?
Okay,
but just or Monday. Or Monday after our live.
We've had the war on drugs since Reagan, or maybe before then. And people still do drugs. So we're wasting money to tell people what they can and can't do with their body, and that's not our place.
We can talk about this. We'll talk about this more because I do want to talk about this more at some point.
So tomorrow we having the live on immigration from 8 p.m. here. And if you guys want to talk about this after that in this setting, well, I can host it and we can tell everybody in our lives that we're gonna be doing this. So maybe we'll have more viewers
tomorrow afterwards because I'm kind of a grandma and I go to bed early, so I'll have to go to bed after that. But I can do it Tuesday.
All right, I'm off Tuesday, so we can do it Tuesday. Yeah. All right, ladies, always a pleasure.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
How do I get out of here?
Yeah.